Ooh, Mike doesn't want to stay. We are getting going, getting things set up so that we are streaming live, hopefully connecting to you. I think we are. I think it's working. And I have you to thank for that. Without you, this line is just a dot. And with a few of us, we become a shape, a web, if you will. Good morning. Good day. I am John Halcyon, and this is Hug Nation Live, a practice that began 24 years ago as a way to connect and remember that we're not alone. And we can use these digital tools to feel the presence of one another in a world that often floods us with media that is intended to make us feel separate and frustrated. But there's other choices, like remembering how many people there are like you and me, and the people showing up and saying hello, like Charlie Tinsley and Glam Rock Rebel and George Post and anyone else who might be here. Good day to you. If you're here, leave a comment, leave a little hello, and tell me, what are you grateful for? Maybe it's a little thing like, oh, I'm grateful that my socks have no holes in them. Or maybe it's like, I'm grateful that my brother just had a baby. I'm a niece, or I'm an uncle. I have a niece. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning, Juan from the Central Valley, California. Happy First Friday. I'm like, wait, what? No, it's Saturday. Today is First Saturdays. It is the day that my 501c3 nonprofit has our monthly outing to feed those in need. We have food. We have a huge spread of donated clothes and care packs. And mostly, though, all of those things are just props that we use so that we can have interactions with people that are outside of our normal social circles. And I've been really blessed to have a kind of a formula and a vibe that makes it very joyful. And so we tend to get, between 40 and 100 volunteers every month. Most of them college students, different, service groups. But it's such an honor and delight for me to be doing this dual service. I'm so grateful that by following my heart, so much influenced by gifting and Burning Man, and trying to find ways that I could do more gifting in the default world, and understanding how gifting is a system that requires giver and receiver, and when it's done right, both sides are joyful, unlike transactional behaviors where both sides feel like it's fair. Gifting, you feel good receiving, they feel good because they have made you feel good. So we're in our 16th year of doing this every month, and my brain can't do the math on how many people that I've been able to serve. And when I consider serve, I consider those that come as our clients to get clothes and food, and those that come as volunteers. In fact, in some ways, the service to the volunteers is more significant, because if you give someone a sandwich, their belly is full until tomorrow. But if you give someone a shift in their perspective about what being of service, what gifting feels like, and then it changes their behavior, that's a lifelong, a order of magnitude of rippling and compounded interest. And I devalue it when I say we give them a sandwich, because before we open and start distributing, we all circle up to try to make everyone understand that everything we're giving is just an excuse to have interaction. And if you can, if you're up for it and you've got time, because you always have so many volunteers, sit down with somebody, engage, ask some questions, be a good listener, and give the gift of dignity, because the sandwich gets digested, but dignity can stick to the bones and is precious. So I hope you have an opportunity to gift dignity to someone today. And I should say that you don't even have to go looking for spending a soup kitchen. You can gift dignity to anyone experiencing homelessness simply by giving them eye contact and saying, sorry, not today, or good luck, or wish you well, or no thank you. We often get into a pattern of, we see a panhandler and you ignore, don't look at them. And the psychological toll that happens when someone is ignored like that over time is tragic. So if you feel guilty because you don't have money to give, or you aren't comfortable giving money to everybody, or you don't want to, I almost never give money to someone who's panhandling and asking for money. I occasionally will give money to someone who is clearly in need, and I try to gift money in a way that is not filled with pity or judgment, saying something like, have you had lunch yet? Can I get you lunch? And give them, $5. Or what I used to do, I used to experiment with it, and I would say, someone dropped $5. It's not mine. Do you want it? To try to find ways to eliminate the undesired effect of treating someone like they need your help and you're better than them. Because that's not the dynamic. It's more like at Burning Man. When you give someone a snow cone at Burning Man, it's not because I'm better and you are worse off because you don't. It's like, I have something that could make you happier. And if I can make you happier, that would sure make me happier. So who wants a snow cone? And if you can find ways to do that in the way that you gift people, not just people who are experiencing homelessness, not just people that need money, you can gift and make someone's day better to anyone. You can buy the coffee for the person behind you. You can put money in someone's meter. You can let someone go in front of you in line who's holding a baby. There's just all sorts of ways that we can notice how we can make someone's day better, make them happier, which then makes us happier. Oh, like a falcon or something just landed on a tree right up there. Definitely big bird of prey. So if you're here, say hello. Let me know what you're grateful for. Welcome, Viola Irie and Petra Puma and Flambeau. Hi, Sherry. Good morning to you. High Noon says, hello, beautiful people. I'm grateful for feeling much better. A roller coaster of health this week, and grateful for this gathering to be live and recorded. Glad that you are here, whether it's live or we get to connect with you when you watch the recording. Thank you. Gerbot says, I'm grateful for a weekend full of activities with friends, and glad to know that you're up for it. Your body's like, let's start doing stuff. Emil says, grateful my sister called me last night after 5 years. Whoa, lots to unpack, and I'm still processing. I forgive her for the pain she has caused me. Wow, that's significant. I wish you continued healing and connection. High Noon says, I'm grateful for having extra snacks when I ride my bikes, and if I see anyone who looks like they could use a snack, I gift it. I need to do it more often. Love that. That's the love ambassador s spirit just living in you, and when you notice a way that you could be kind, go, "Hey, I know what a love ambassador would do. I know what I would do. Would you like some trail mix?" Carla, good morning. Carla says, "Vasectomy anniversary?" Yes, I think it is my 15th year or 16th year anniversary since my vasectomy. And so, 17, 18 years ago, I had a partner who was late with their period and uh, thought they were pregnant and dropped into started to pursue the path of prenatal care. And we had been v- very careful. Um, and we'd also discussed that if, even with all of our cautions, that neither one of us wanted to bring a child into the world together. But as soon as she was late, she started, making the doctor's appointments, getting ready to take care of this baby. And I was thrown by this because I thought we were both on team not get pregnant. And she revealed in that moment that she wanted to have a baby with me. And um, it really affected my ability to be present during sex because I was constantly checking to make sure the rubber hadn't moved or come off. Because I, I I have had moments. I mean, I've only had sex. Well, I haven't had sex because I'm not married yet. But theoretically, um, I've had times when a condom has come off, and so that like constantly checking back in to make sure that we're still being safe and like that felt good. Did it feel too good? Um and I kind of had a download. I think it was even related to a medicine ceremony. And I had the real clear awareness that I will not be responsible for ending or terminating a pregnancy. And the only way that I can have that control and certainty is through a vasectomy. So I got a vasectomy. Before I did so, I froze 6 vials of sperm, put them on ice, pay an exorbitant amount every year because once I think they like you can put it in the sperm bank for free, and then it's like they literally have you buy the balls and charge you a ton to store it every year. But it did allow me to let go of that lingering, like you have a certainty that you will not terminate a pregnancy, and you also have a real clarity that you have never met someone that you want to raise a child with. I was still safe and careful because there's all sorts of other reasons to use protection and stay safe. And then fast forward to maybe 8 years ago, 7.5 years ago, when I started to feel like a little spiritual grumbling, like my ancestors were frustrated with me for making the decision to not have kids. Like generations and generations and generations of my ancestors were like, we have had it hard and we did everything we could to survive. Our genetic legacy is moving forward, and you're just going to say, nah, I'd rather watch Netflix. Now, my brother has 2 beautiful boys, and so I kind of felt like I was absolved of the responsibility, but I was having this grumbling, like, and if you know me, you know that I think I have a lot of self-love. And I was like, this genetic package is it should be a part of this continued experiment of humanity. But I did not have a desire to be a father, to raise a kid, which is how I ended up doing a live stream like this and explained that and asked, I said, is there anyone out there or know someone who is either maybe a lesbian couple or a couple with fertilization issues that could use male genetic material to have a baby and would let me be a part of their life? And that's when I met Amy. And now I'm the proud bio dad of 6-year-old Asher, who's visiting in a week for Christmas. So I celebrate my vasectomy anniversary because I do feel good about the way I made the choices needed to be responsible, and also celebrate that it turned into this perfect scenario where I didn't take on a responsibility that I didn't want, but I do get the blessings of having my offspring, my beautiful, creative, hilarious, miraculous boy as a part of my life. And I get to be this loving male figure. So thanks for listening. That is a long answer to one of the things that I'm so grateful for today. I'm so grateful for Asher and Amy. Amy is a superhero. She is a single mom raising Asher on her own while working full time. And it's beyond my comprehension, the effort and energy and patience that requires. He's coming here for 5 days, and I'm like, 5 days? I think it's our longest visit. But it'll be great. I cannot wait. Anyone else want to share some gratitude? Welcome, Melanie Dark and Moja Yoga and Birthbergs. Hi, Edna. Sherry says, grateful for my daughter, my best friend. Thank God it's over, wants to remind us that Anglo-Saxons are not indigenous to America. Hey, I hear you. You got a cause. You got to scream it. All caps. Luann says, howdy, John. Grateful for all the wonderful folks all over the world that have traded tomato seeds with me this fall. It'll be so much fun growing them and giving them away. Happy Saturday. This is one of the things I love about a shared gratitude practice. I love when someone shares a gratitude of something that I have in my life, but I have just been taking for granted and have not been thinking about. So when people share something about, like, if you're sick and you're grateful that you're starting to feel better, it reminds me, oh my gosh, I feel great today. I'm not sick. Rather than have that be a 0 in my list of what's good, I gotta bring not sick into the list of things I'm grateful for. Yeah! I remember what it's like to be sick. I am so grateful I'm not today. Or someone's dishwasher's a bad example. Maybe their washing machine, their dryer was broken, and so they've been hanging their clothes, and now their dryer is working again, and I get to remember, I dried clothes yesterday, and it didn't even cross my mind to be grateful that I had this technology so easily accessible to me. So I love that part of gratitude. But I also love when someone shares a gratitude for something in their life that brings them joy or fulfillment or purpose or fun or whimsy that is outside what I currently consider things that I would want to do, like trading tomato seeds with people. What a noble pursuit of making our food supply and available foods beyond what factory farming has deemed easiest to produce and sell. And I love it. Not only do you trade and keep the biodiversity going, but you gift them away. Makes me so happy. In one of the places I used to live in, there was a house a few blocks away that would constantly make cuttings of plants and succulents, and just had a rack in front of their house that said, take what you like. And I probably over the years took, 8 plants from them. And I just thought that was the cool thing. I finally was walking by when they were there, and I got to say, thank you. I mean, it's seemingly small act, but dramatic impact on my attitude and feeling about neighbors and neighborhood and community. So may we all find ways that we can gift to create that magnification of joy, the joy in giving, the joy in receiving, the joy in reminding people that the world is filled with good people, that regardless of what you hear on the news, the world would rather hug you than hurt you. That's one of our mottos. That's written on the side of my pink motorhome. Thanks, Sherry. Thanks, Edna. Carla says, I'm a good person. Well, thank you. At least I present myself as a good person on the internet. Although I'll be totally honest. I won't be totally honest. I will be less than modest and say, I put a lot of effort in trying to be the most honorable man I can be. And I've spent the last almost 3 decades publicly sharing my journey and my process of inquiry and confession and acknowledgement of weaknesses and stumbles and lessons and pursuit of trying to be the best version of myself I can. No, that's not true. Not the best version of myself, because as good a version of myself that doesn't fall into self-sacrifice. Maybe that's the same thing as best, but I don't give away all my things to the poor and live in rags. I don't take all my free time and use it to volunteer. I could do more. I could be a better force of good in the world, but I spend time every day in acts of service. I spend time every day communicating appreciation to people. And because I try to put thought into things and like the whole process of the vasectomy, I try to make sure that when I look back on my life, I don't have regrets. I have places where I go, I would not do it again like that. I was acting from a place of being triggered or fear, insecurity, but I sleep pretty good at night. I mean, I sleep with a clean conscience. Most of my dreams are anxiety dreams. Like I can't get the gum out of my mouth. I can't walk, can't move places. I lose keys and am in another country without a wallet. It's either that or I have these super trippy inception dreams where I go, oh, I'm dreaming. I got to wake myself up. And I wake up and I start going about my business in my house, and I start talking to Lisa. And then I'm like, wait, this is another dream. And I wake up again from it. Thanks, Juan. Svabani says, or Nick, should I call you Nick? I'm informing you, everything is quiet in Siberia. We are in a great mood, which is what we wish you. Thank you. I love that. If anybody else wants to share where you are physically, it would be beautiful to be able to like visualize this net of nodes of love as we're each rippling out into the world. High Noon says, gratitude for those who join me around the world with winter ocean cold plunges. Feels difficult, but once you do it once, you will be back. We did a little cold plunge on Thanksgiving Day, but it wasn't that cold. Not a single person has left a comment or shared gratitude in Instagram, which is one of the reasons why I don't go live on Instagram every day. Occasionally, someone pops in, who's a friend or has some gratitude to share, and I love that. But if you weren't here yesterday, I made a big to-do out of Pantone announcing the 2026 color of the year, which is called Cloud Dancer, which is a billowy white. And I went on a rant about how interesting that as I shifted my identity from pink to white, the color authorities of the world just happened to say, yeah, the future is white. You ain't fooling no one, Pantone committee. What's next? You gonna make a hug monster color? So anyway, I made a big case that we should change the name, keep the color, but call it Halcyon White. And actually, I spent a little bit too much time, not too much time, more time than I intended, and what makes rational sense to make a little clip out of some of the things from yesterday. So you know what? I'm going to just share it for you real too. Pantone's color of the year is a lofty white neutral. I was eagerly awaiting the announcement of whatever 2026's color of the year was going to be. Like I always suspected, the fashion leaders of the world have been watching me. The color of the year is white, or specifically Cloud Dancer, which is basically a white. I am going to strongly suggest rally, I don't know if petitions or marches, sit-ins, maybe dress-ins. We all go to work wearing white only until Pantone changes the name from Cloud Dancer to Halcyon White. With everything going on in the world today, there's so many causes. Do we work to help the environment? Do we help to feed the hungry? How do we rally behind a cause? This is the cause. Let's make something right in the world and get Pantone to change the color of the year. Not change the color, keep the color, change the name to Halcyon White. I'll tell you how Pantone describes it. Pantone 11-4201 is a lofty white neutral whose aerated presence acts as a whisper of calm and peace in a noisy world. It symbolizes a calming influence in a society rediscovering the value of quiet reflection. It's like they're reading my horoscope. Thankfully, I turned white just in time to be aligned with the Pantone color of the year. Man, it's like a minute video. Probably spent 4 hours on it yesterday. I tend to get excited and inspired, and I love the feeling of inspiration so much that I just keep playing with it. The other two projects that I've been playing with a ton is the coloring book customized for Asher, which is been super fun, and I'm making a photo book for Lisa with mostly just big pictures of us smiling or kissing each other or laughing in different places. Quite a few from Burning Man. Not quite a few, maybe a eighth of the pictures are from Burning Man. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Heinen says, next year, the color of the year is going to be tie-dye. That would be pretty great. Hi, Faithy Pie. Faithy Pie says, grateful for this wonderful weekend with my son. Sending love from Florida. Yay. Anyone else have any gratitude that they would like to share? Luann says, you are too vibrant to only be a base color. Oh, thank you. But I also I feel like this current chapter, I am also embracing radical self-expression, because radical self-expression doesn't mean as extreme as possible. It means as authentically as possible. And this is the way I'm feeling like I want to express. And I think I'm collecting data and noticing how it changes the way I am seen and perceived in the world. I certainly, with pink hair, if you didn't notice, my wrinkles, and you could lump me into a punk kid. I had neighbors that sometimes I'd pass them in the street and I'd be like walking with my shirt off, my nipple rings, and I can only imagine they thought of me as some, young punk or young weirdo. Not that those are bad things, or even they were judging me. But now when I walk around my neighborhood, I think they're like, what a friendly old man. Any last gratitudes before we head out into our day? Heinen says, I put on a fleece vest today and feel very invested in the spire of the name. I will appreciate whatever it is that means. Oh, the spirit of the name. Got it. Hey, that wasn't scrolling. I don't know I doubt they're still here, but Ember Hart popped in to say hello. Hello. I'll have to send you a message. Oh, Rave Hippie Ashton says, I'm grateful for the burn. Woo-woo. Thanks for everyone who's tuned in and added a little gratitude or felt the gratitude or even took a moment to check inward and remind yourself of things that you have to be grateful for. I was telling a client yesterday that he participated in a gratitude practice with me and was sharing like, wow, that really does make a difference in the day. And I was like, legit. I mean, as far as life hacks go, if you're like playing with creatine and biohacks, and by the way, like I love Lucid mushroom nootropic drinks is sponsored. Stay Sparked. We asked them to sponsor us because I drink it all the time, and so does Betsy. That's a great way if you do want to play with nootropics or functional medicine. Great, awesome. But and anything else that you want to, any Huberman, hack that you want to try, and great. But the most bang for your buck, the most impact for effort thing that you can do in your life to make your life more enjoyable is a consistent gratitude practice. If you come here daily for a month and you share gratitude and you listen to other people's gratitude for a month, 5 days a week, you can take, I guarantee you will notice that the sum of your attention in your days leans more towards you enjoying your life. Anybody want to take me on that challenge? Hey, goner. All right. Well, let's close off with a hug as we have done in Hug Nation since 2001. Wherever you are, let's give ourselves a hug. Appreciating this body, feeling connected to all those that are here in this space, everyone who has hugged themselves over the last 24 years, anyone who has surrendered their ideas of separation and acknowledged an intentional connection to their fellow humans, opened their hearts a little bit more, risked a little bit more, loved a little bit more, forgave a little bit more. Let's do that for ourselves and others as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us, thanks for joining me for Hug Nation Live. Happy Saturday. It is first Saturday, so if you're in San Diego, you can join me in a few hours at the 3rd Avenue Charitable Organization. We meet at noon, and if you've got clothes to donate, bring them, and we'll give them away. But all we really need from you is your smile and good attitude. Hello, Lisa. Lisa says, at least I made it for the hug. I'm grateful for you and my chosen family in Graz. Love you. Love you too.